Hey, Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers. How's it going? It's John Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. We appreciate you. It's wonderful that you're with us. Let me see. People are already rolling in the live comments. I'm going to wait for a few people to jump on here. And before we dive into anything else, there was a change in the schedule. So what we wanted to announce today is actually going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central. There was a slight change last minute in the scheduling, but not a problem. The announcement's still going to be big, and we have something to talk about today, which I wanted to chat about anyways. And I think is very important. We see this for what it is, and we do the right thing with this. It's all about freedom right now, all about truth, authenticity, freedom. And that's the wonderful thing. Also, we tested something today, and I'm going to let you know how that works also. All right, tribe. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. Repeat, please, the whole thing with me. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. Healthy, wealthy, whole, we're free. It's important. Also, if you're like me, I hope you have a big mug of wonderful, beautiful coffee. Yes, very, very good. All right, tribe, let's dive into it. I'm already seeing we're experimenting with YouTube and Rumble and the live streams and what works and what doesn't. And when we say what works and what doesn't, it's not you guys. You always work. You're amazing. It's the algorithm and what it does. And so we see what never mind. Let's talk about the news of the day, of yesterday actually, and what we can do with it. David Icke, our friend, soul brother, and I think a highly, highly important man. And he would not want to be put on a pedestal. So we're not going to do that. But we're just going to say highly important man for the freedom and truth movement in the world, for the Great Awakening, has been banned from entering the EU, the European Union, yesterday. He was scheduled to speak at a protest in Amsterdam. And if you know anything about what's happening in the Netherlands, for months and months now, basically it's the continuation in a bigger and stronger way of what the truckers did in Canada. The farmers in the Netherlands have been protesting for months and months because the EU and the Netherlands government, which is now practically the same in most European countries. By the way, baby's here. Hold on, let me show you. Look who's here. Look, baby. Baby. The EU has is and wants to and has been passing laws and regulations that would make it all but impossible for farmers to farm any longer. It is way too expensive, and a lot of the practices have been banned, and they all, of course, justified with climate change and all that. And so there's been huge upheavals. Of course, this all comes on the heels of 2.5 years of COVID insanity. And so the Netherlands have been big over the last few months on protests and on resistance. And so David Icke, has agreed to come to this huge thing in Amsterdam. And they've been throwing everything at him, all the dirt they have at him, and they tried to keep him away. They tried to discredit him, which hasn't worked in decades. So I don't know why they tried now. So yesterday, they finally pulled the plug and said, "Hell no, we're just going to ban him from entering the EU." Well, let me be precise. The Schengen area, and the Schengen area is most EU countries who have a treaty, if you will, that allows for people to move freely between those countries, usually without having to show passports at a border. So basically, you cross into the EU and you show your passport. And once you're in the EU, in this Schengen area, you don't have to do that anymore. And David Icke was banned from this Schengen area. Thank you, baby, for your acrobatic skills here. Has been banned from the Schengen area yesterday. And what that means is, while rapists, while murdering dictators, while convicted felons, while undocumented immigrants, while smugglers, child traffickers, gangs, drug smugglers, cartels are still going to be able to move within the EU Schengen area because they can always enter. It's pretty much, unheard of that people are banned for criminal records or what. David Icke, who's not convicted, who's not a criminal, who is a peaceful man, has never harmed anyone, who is the last person to ever call for even remotely anything that resembles violence, never ever, has been banned from entering the EU. Now, this is outrageous. I posted a quick statement yesterday. I called them by their proper names because these people are insane, they're crazy, and they're horrific. However, we need to look at this from our advantage point. What kind of leverage does this give us? Well, what do you think will happen over the next hours and days if people like you and I share what's been going on? Well, people are going to say, hold on. We still let war criminals into the EU and all these horrific people, but a guy that wants to speak at a protest is banned from entering the United States, the European Union for 2 years. Well, if we can spread the word properly, a lot of people are going to research who David Icke is and what he speaks about. And boom, there you have it. That's how the Great Awakening works. So you might even say that this whole ban is actually working very, very much in our favor. I understand it's a horrific thing. It's a very it shows very much where we're at, and it shows very much where the mindset of this people is at. But we can use all of these events always to our advantage, and we can amplify David's message, not to put him on a pedestal, but because the guy's been speaking truth and has been spot on for such a long time. He deserves to be supported. He deserves to be his voice deserves to be amplified, and it's up to all of us. We are the media. We're the multipliers here. We need to share these things. So I hope your social media, if you're using it, I hope your channels, if you have them, I hope your text messages, your feeds, your emails in the next days will simply ask a question. Why is a peaceful man without a criminal record banned from entering the European Union? His name's David Icke. Look him up. You don't really have to do much more. People will find their way. And this is when David Icke was banned from YouTube and from all the big platforms. I had the deep inspiration to do something. I realized if we were going to share on our YouTube channel what David speaks about so often, especially over the past 2.5 years, and how he words these things, well, the video is going to be taken down, and pretty soon we're going to be shut down. We've had these things. But you know what we did? We pulled out all the beautiful other things he speaks about. We pulled out the inspiration. We pulled out the other stuff and put them in little compilations, 10, 12, 14-minute videos, 8-minute videos. And these videos were highly popular, hundreds of thousands, millions of views. And we amplified the core message of David Icke, and you can see something every time they try to ban something, every time they try to censor something or shut something down. We're here, and we're just going to turn it around on them. We're going to use their own weapons, and we're going to use them for good. And that's how we should do this as well. The world of social media needs to blow up about David Icke right now, and we need to understand the power that we have at our fingertips and thumbs. You know me. I'm not a technology guy. I don't think this is the future. I don't think but this is right now the battlefield. The battlefield is digital, and if we don't realize this, we're losing out on opportunities. This is our opportunity. Hashtag the shit out of David Icke. David Icke banned. EU bans David Icke. Whatever is catchy and easy to use, and do it. This has been a tactic for the past 4, 5, 6 years that has worked really well for the truth movement, because we have finally understood what we have. We have understood that even though there's censorship and bans, we can work around them and actually maybe even have a greater impact. So these digital book burnings, they are helping us right now. I'm not calling for them because it's insanity, but actually it shows to those who have their eyes closed. It shows to those who might not agree with David Icke, but they might still want freedom of speech, freedom of press, and all that stuff. And they go, what the hell's going on? I mean, yeah, the guy's a nut. Maybe they think that. The guy's crazy. And lizard people, you know what people say about David Icke. But they still might say, well, if we ban him from speaking, whom are we going to ban tomorrow from entering the EU, right? Think about it that way too. I would almost say this is like if someone is banned from speaking at a protest, um, this is almost like it's like a political discrimination, if you will. I mean, we can use all these terms, but the truth is, we have an opportunity, we have a momentum. It's a great day for freedom, actually. This particular live stream was actually reserved for another big announcement, something beautiful that's happening, and it's going to happen tomorrow, not today. Well, so be it. But I'm actually glad we got to talk about David Icke. So I'm asking you, put his picture everywhere, put his name everywhere right now. Let people know what is happening and let people see it. That's really what this time is all about. The people need to see it, and the people need to feel the truth, and they need to hear it. They need to be able to make up their minds based on facts again. And that's why this whole discernment and this whole uncovering of truth, excuse me, is so important. Um, because for the longest time, people didn't have a true baseline. They just had bullshit. They had flavored bullshit, but it was all bullshit. It wasn't true. And so they couldn't make real decisions because they didn't have real information. And we're in this time now where someone like David Icke, who was called absolutely crazy, ridiculed, and all that, is finally becoming a voice, not for a new political movement, not a voice to tell people what to do. He's just showing them what's been going on. We honor that. We want to thank David Icke and the whole Icke family. We love them all. We love Iconic. We love Gareth. He comes on every now and then. We have great conversations. We're going to have David Icke back on. This is just between you and I. We haven't announced this publicly yet. We're going to have him back on December 12th, and it's going to be with another special guest. And we think if we do this right, we want to do a live stream rather than pre-recorded. And if you guys are up for it, then let us know in the comments if you think we should do a live stream with David and actually blow it up as big as we can. Of course, we're going to need your help for it, but I think we could have another fantastic cultural moment when we have David and this other special guest on together. Just an idea I'm throwing out here, between in the Inspired Tribe. We'd love to know what you think. All right, Tribe. Thank you for tuning in. This is a historic day, but the actual historic announcements coming tomorrow are really, really wonderful. I'm so glad what is happening. And I can only tell you this. We're going to continue to be steadfast because living and speaking our purpose and doing what we came here to do and showing up for this every day has created so much beautiful momentum. And I'm not talking about our lives. I'm not talking about any benefits for us in this. I'm talking about the whole thing, the synergies that are happening, the people that are getting together. And oftentimes we only realize this after the fact, right? Months later we hear, oh, such and such, and these people got connected because of the Inspired Tribe. And boy, that's so beautiful. There are movements and companies that do amazing things that are beginning to thrive, and we can amplify that. And that's what we're here for a true freedom revolution. And we're all part of this, and we're all equally important in this. So I encourage you and ask you to stay steadfast too. Every day is a little win. Every day is a step forward. And even if it doesn't look like it, when something like David Icke getting banned from the EU happens, see the positivity, see the possibilities, see the potential this event has and what we can do with it. We can turn everything around in our favor now. We have the tools, we have the knowledge, we have the experience, and we're going to march peacefully forward. And it's been said beautifully once. Let's do it patriotically and peacefully. I like that. See, I like that. Patriotically and peacefully, we're going to march forward, and we're going to recreate our true divinely inspired freedom on earth once again one step at a time until it's built and rock solid, and our children know what that means again, and our grandchildren and our grandchildren. We're going to teach them, show them, and the world's going to be a much, much better place. That's what we're here for. That's what we live for. We love you all. We appreciate you. And I'm going to scroll through the comments here now. Can't wait and talk to you very, very soon. Be blessed, my friends.